Alright, as you probably know, last night was the Ncaa championship game for the men's side of the bracket. Congratulations to Stanford on the ladies' side for winning. So last night I'm watching the men's game. It's good to have all tournament basketball back. As you know, unless you've been living under a rock or in a cave or not been paying attention for the last 2 years, there was no title game for a couple of years because of the COVID. So I'm excited to watch the national championship game. Now I'd watched the Final Fours, and Baylor took care of Houston. No question about it. And Gonzaga survived against UCLA. And I was like, I always hear about Gonzaga as this national powerhouse, and they're this great program. But every year they fall short. They very well could have lost to UCLA. Now I'm thinking, you struggled against an 11 seed. So I predicted they were going to get hammered in the title game. And I posted this online, and that's a bold pick, and you're wrong, and we'll see. Now, as you see at the top of my head, I'm a Syracuse fan. This actually is the Syracuse hat. It's just kind of an oddball color, but there's the orange on the back, and my wife was nice enough to sew this old school logo patch on the side for me. So anyway, Syracuse didn't get there, and I know that. But every year, Gonzaga's like, oh, they're this major program. They're this national powerhouse. And then they fall short. They don't do it. And if they do get there, which they've done twice now, they don't win. You're not a national powerhouse unless you win. I love Syracuse. I've been a Syracuse fan since I was 14. I don't exactly consider them a national powerhouse. I think they're a good program. And, they won once in 2003 with Carmelo Anthony. So I'm always a Carmelo Anthony fan. I have a Syracuse jersey of his, and I also have a Nuggets one. And I saw him play when he's on the Nuggets. But every year, Gonzaga, they play in a weak conference. That's what they do every year. They play like San Diego State and Loyola Marymount or whatever they are. And there's these, kind of small college programs. And then when they get in there in the tournament versus the big boys, bam, they're out of there. Now, you could say, hey, Syracuse didn't win. I know. They only won once. I'm glad they won that. As I said, I don't consider them like up there with Duke and Kentucky and North Carolina. You figure they're going to win the whole thing on a regular basis. It'd be nice, but I'm a realist. So now, after the game last night, where Gonzaga got their asses kicked, which I predicted, I've heard Gonzaga fans blaming the refs. It's not the refs. I don't really think there's any bad calls in either direction. Now, I wanted Gonzaga to lose because I had the misfortune of living in Spokane, and I hate that fucking place. So I may have been, a little biased more towards Baylor, but even that aside, I thought Baylor was going to win. They hammered Houston in the semifinal. And Gonzaga barely got by UCLA on an extremely lucky shot. Sometimes, things go your way. What are you going to do? But it wasn't the officials. The officials didn't hit all those threes for Baylor. The officials didn't have Baylor up 9-0 before I barely got situated in my chair. The officials weren't turning the ball over. The officials weren't playing sloppy and scared and nervous. And that's what Gonzaga was playing like. Sloppy, scared, and nervous. Baylor showed up ready to play. I don't want to hear this fatigue against UCLA, or their fatigue because of how long the game versus UCLA went. If you were really a national powerhouse, you would have hammered that 11 seed. You wouldn't have had to have gone to overtime, damn near double overtime, to beat them. You would have taken care of business. Now, it's funny, every year when Syracuse makes a tournament, I hear, oh, they don't belong, and why are they here? And then they wind up making it to a Final Four, or an Elite Eight, or Sweet 16. Sure, I'd like them to go all the way, but, they usually get criticized, and then it's fine. Fuck it, criticize them all you want, go ahead, I'm still going to like them. And then they, I did my tournament bracket, I had Syracuse actually going as far as losing to Houston. Would I like them to have beaten Houston and moved on? Sure, but it's as far as that. Ooh, I tell you, if I made a blooper reel, I'd have one today. That's as far as I thought they were going to go. And that's as far as they went. Now, mind you, I'll admit my bracket was way off. I had Villanova winning the whole thing. It's just, I fill out a bracket every year for fun. And I just, if I'm betting, I'll study it more scientifically. Otherwise, I just, they'll win, this is it, whatever. But, all along this tournament, there were signs. Gonzaga had to rally against Oklahoma. They barely got by UCLA. It's just, and they lost. It wasn't the refs. There's nothing to do with it. Poor shooting, scared play, nervousness, sloppiness. Baylor was hitting their threes. It happens. When you hit your shots, you're probably going to win. You don't hit them, you're probably going to lose. Oh, sure, there's the oddball, crazy thing that happens here and there. I mean, I'm a Yankees fan. 2001, they played as poorly as they could possibly play. Got outscored by the Diamondbacks 37-14. Batted under 200 for the whole series and almost won the series. And they were outplayed. Would have been amazing if they won it. I'd have been happy because it would have been a four-peat, but they played poorly that. And that's just, so, they came close. So what are you going to do? So any Gonzaga fans Gonzaga fans out there that are watching this, it wasn't the refs. It was you played like shit. As far as I'm concerned, the only person on Gonzaga that played any well, I don't know the guy's name, but he looks like an old 1970s drugged out porn star with that Fu Manchu mustache. I don't know what his name is. He seemed to have been playing somewhat good, but overall, really, they folded in the big game again. It's what they do. I bet you they don't even sniff the Final Four next year. They won't. And if they do, hey, I'm wrong. And you can go back to this video and say, you, sir, were wrong, or you were fucking wrong, you fucker. Either one's fine. But wasn't the officials. It was poor play on your part. And Baylor showed up and played well. And they're the national champions. Congratulations, Baylor. Congratulations, Stanford in the women's tournament. And shut the fuck up, Gonzaga fans. You know very little. If you shut up.